Hi Stampin' friends, tonight we're going to use the Pick of the Patch Stampin' Up! Punch Bundle. It comes with this little, stuck on it already. It comes with this little punch bundle. It punches 2 pumpkins and a stem and a leaf. So you can see it has a lot of different, you could make a little tree and little branches and things like that. And then it has the little squiggles that go on your pumpkin. It also has some leaves that you can use in other ways, of course. And then some great stamps for sentiments. It has a Harvest of Blessings, which is perfect for Thanksgiving. And then, of course, you're the Pick of the Patch. And then Happy Halloween for whenever you need Happy Halloween. And thanks so much. So there's lots of ways to use this. And then you can also add the jack-o'-lantern face and the little crow on there. So that's super cute. The first thing I wanted to show you, of course, is what we typically do every time, which is punch the punch through the cardstock and make ourselves something to use as a template when we're stamping. So these are the two that you can see here, on the inside what we have. We have this one and we have this one. So, I put that one upside down. There we go. So what you want to do is put those down. Now normally we go ahead and do it so we can stamp them all at once. But we don't want to do that because we would want these things to probably be green or at least yellow or something, not the same exact color as the pumpkin. So what I'll do after that is just set my stamp down on there, and that should make it where I'm good to go to punch those out. The same distance from the edge of my punch, from my paper, as I used with this. Okay, so then for my next batch, I will put my stem and my leaf there. Oh, another thing I forgot to mention, this made a great example. They put a little bit of oil in the punches after they make them so that they will be, so that they'll work nicely. And so there's just a little bit on this. So you kind of want to always punch it a few times in some trash before you get started, just to avoid any kind of a problem that it might cause you with that. Okay, so this one's kind of dirty, but sorry about that. Just grabbing that, do the 2 leaves, the leaf and stem. Okay, so now that I've done that, the next thing I was kind of going to show you, that's along the same lines, that's why I'm showing you at the same time, is using the rest of the pumpkins to put our pumpkins in a little row so that we can use them like you're the Pick of the Patch. So I'm just kind of imagining where I might put them and then lining the bottom edge of them up against one of our lines here on our, and I just put them upside down. Oh no, I didn't. I almost put this one upside down. There we go. So that we can have a cute little batch of pumpkins. And I'm gonna put this tall one over here on the end. And then I'm just gonna kind of hold my head over it and see that if I want them to be a little bit leaning to the side or whatever, that I have them that way. So I did that, and then I'm just gonna grab one of these long ones and pop it right on there. Okay, so now with this one, I will probably want to use marker to stamp, which when I say that, I don't mean the blends, I mean the Stampin' Right markers, and put the color on with the markers. So I will probably want to make some variety among these. You certainly wouldn't have to. You could easily just stamp with any random orange and just put it on there. So let me just go ahead and do that once just to kind of test, because that would be the way that you would determine if you wanted to maybe move them up and down or something like that. So I'm just going to pretend that I have it here on the edge and then see what I think. There we go. Now, that was my first stamping, so that's probably part of it also. That was another reason that I did it. Sometimes the first time, they don't stamp as nicely. But you can see I've kind of got it reasonably well placed on the stamp. I'm just going to do this. That's one thing I do. Because I realize that I do this stuff ahead of time, and you guys don't ever see that. And then you just think, well, why aren't mine turning out like that? So that's not going to be something that I've ever told you about. So that's why I'm doing my little deal about this. Okay. So then now let's go ahead and grab some markers. What I was thinking about with these was probably using the Petal Pink for one of them, one of the little small pumpkins, and then creating kind of a gourd look with the other one. We do have that really pretty pumpkin paper that could be cute with this, but I couldn't decide if it would just kind of overwhelm it. The papers that I'm using tonight aren't necessarily these pretty ones, but I think any of these would look cute with some pumpkins. But kind of trying to draw my pumpkins to look like some of these I thought might be kind of nice. So to me, the Petal Pink is probably going to be about that light. Then I want to use the crushed curry. You could also consider using the wheat, the wild wheat. That might be one. Oh, I think I just touched that. Sorry. Better go back to that. Whoop, wrong end. That would be one that would definitely look like a brownish kind of a yellow. And then I think I should probably do this before I change to another color. There is in this stamp, well, what did I do with it? Here it is. A batch of speckles. So I'm assuming that that's gonna look nice if I use it with some green to put some bright green, garden green speckles on my pumpkin. But I'm gonna do it this way. So, and maybe I'll try it after, like putting them like that. That may look better like that. But I'm gonna go ahead and do it on here, because if I should happen to make a mistake, it's easier to get the ink off of this than it is to get it off of this. So like I think if I were going to do this, I would have to cut out the pumpkin and put it on top of that. Whereas with this one, I just kind of feel like I can just stamp it as much as I want on there, and it should be okay. And I am being careful not to get it on the other two pumpkins there. Then I think on this one I will use pumpkin pie. Put that up so I don't get confused. And on the other, I think I will use our Cajun Craze. So I'm going to put pumpkin pie on this, on the typical pumpkin shaped one. And put my Cajun Craze on this one. Now you could go to, extra effort and get this looking a little more, like you could put shading down in these, down in the creases after you, use a lighter color, and then use the Cajun Craze to shade, things like that. But for this one, I'm just kind of making them all different colors and not worrying about it very much. Of course, this is really looking different. I don't know, I guess I'll have some extra strings in mine. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and huff on this, just a little bit of breath to give it, re-moisten the stamp, the ink that's on the stamp. And then here we go. Make sure there's nothing on my page there. And then what I'm gonna do with this is cut it out and mat it later. So I'll use it on some of my things with just cutting it out and matting it later. You could also use your blends, color it in with a lighter blend than some of these, and that would look pretty cute too. But I think this turned out pretty well as far as trying to look like one of the kind of gourds that we sometimes have. That just kind of gives it a little speckled look, and what didn't take very long at all. So I guess if you wanted to take longer, you certainly could. So in this case, I would probably put I'm gonna have to do this again now that I've done that, but I would probably just put my top pieces on with just and maybe they're too big for this one. I don't know. You just kind of have to decide, but you can probably, in my opinion, probably just draw your tops on. So that might be one way to go. Just kind of draw a couple of little tops on like that. Maybe one going that way. Maybe make this one kind of wide. So, I mean, That's just my opinion on that. I think it's easier to draw them. And then I'm gonna grab my old olive and stamp a couple of the little tendrils on there. It's kind of, I don't know, that may not make sense, but it's kind of going the other direction. I'll just lay it on top of the gourd. Okay, there you can kind of see how, just putting the little tendril on there. All right, so that will be pretty easy, I think, to just place on top of some of our cards. And so what I'm gonna do now is just get started with some ideas where we're stamping and punching and putting them on there. All right, so now I've got that and I'm ready to start again on, so I'm gonna put this over here because I'm afraid a little bit that I'll punch a little too close. All right, so I'm going to put some old olive leaves and stems down here. And then I'm going to go ahead with my pumpkin pie. Stamp these guys with that. And then I think I'm going to use the Cajun Craze as well, just so I can have some variety of color, even on these. Oh, I didn't hold that one down well. Just kind of get in a hurry. There we go. Well, that is dark. What it would look like if we stamp like that. Stamping off is always an option. Not a big fan of that. Well, that looks almost like a brown instead of a Cajun Craze. Let me see my copper clay here. Give us an idea how that would look. Wow, very similar. It's definitely browner on the copper clay, but this is also pretty dark. I don't even think I've re-inked it, so who knows. All right, so let's grab our punch. About to grab the wrong one. Okay, there we go. And go ahead and punch. I guess I'll punch this one, even though I'm not in love with it, but I'm just kind of a pumpkins or pumpkin pie colored person. Okay, I may have those a little too close together. They may be just a little bit close. Okay, so now we've got that. I'm ready to hop in with these guys with the stem and the leaf. Now, am I going to be able to find them? Okay, there's one stem. So now I just was kind of working on some layouts and I got out several different things here. And I used some of this foil paper. This one comes also with like a kind of a pool party colored foil. And then this is the back side of the library books. Well, those would be nice to use. So you could put something like this, maybe use one of your pretty pictures like this. Now this necessarily doesn't have to be for pumpkins, but I was just kind of like thinking, well, how many different ways could I use this? And I definitely think that is one that would work. So then this one, I just used the new distress tile background. I did that on the pumpkin pie. And then I used the background in our Cajun Craze. So I think it would be cute here to just put your stems and your pumpkins on like that. Use my little small pumpkin and a stem and a leaf. And then maybe my Happy Halloween sentiment up there. So let me work on that real quick. Well, maybe not Happy Halloween. Maybe this long, skinny one. I was thinking that a Harvest of Blessings would be good, but I was also looking at it and thinking, wow, what am I going to cut that out with? It's pretty long. I mean, I had to get this piece to put it on. So, and then You're the Pick of the Patch will definitely be one that I put on the other one where there's 4 or 5 different ones. I think it would also look good if you stamped that on this and added your big ones popped up on dimensionals, because that would make it look a little more, I don't know, dimensional. Yeah, a little more fun. So let me grab the pumpkin pie. Add my Harvest of Blessings. Kind of right in the middle if I can. I probably won't. I probably will not be able to get it right in the middle, and it probably won't be straight, but we'll pretend. There we are. And then, because this metallic edged ribbon is so pretty, I think I'm going to be having problems wanting to use it on everything. I am not sure that it looks super great with the copper. It's okay, but it's kind of a lot of tone on tone with the copper. I think it will probably stand out more when it's just on, fine with this photograph paper, but when it's just with a regular matte cardstock. But again, my opinion. If you think it looks better another way, by all means. I have lots of opinions, unfortunately. All right, so let me tie that around. Oh, it is a little hard to hold. I wanted to make a small one, but it is tiny when you get it going. Do it a couple more times. Okay, I do like that now. Scissors and give it a cut. On the other side. Now, you could run it across, that would be cute, but it would also be perfect for concealing if you were off a little to one side or the other. Putting this on there would definitely conceal any that you were off, and you could maybe put some of your little cute beads down the side, some of your little, okay, I'm trying to move something without knocking it over. I don't know how that's gonna work. Okay, trying to reach some of our shiny pretties, and I don't know if I did or not. Okay, there we are. Putting some of these guys on there would also be pretty. This is the pecan, but I think it would look nice. And I tried to get a pecan to kind of show you that that blends in nicely as well. I think the pecan is great. And then you could also use this, which is kind of granny apple, but I think it looks great with the old olive as well, because it has black or brown dark flecks on it. So I think that would be really cute. And then of course the ones that we already have, if you think about those, the ones that have the metallic look to them would be super nice. Let's see here. Since that hopped in the floor, I think I can reach the others. Or I've always thought these were nice. I think these are actually from the big catalog, but they would look great on here. All of these colors would just blend in so well, I think. So anyway, there is that one. I'm gonna set it to the side. Then I wanted to kind of play with this one. I think it makes a great pumpkin look, and it looks cozy. Doesn't it look cozy with this leaf patterned paper? I think that would be really cute. So I was just kind of thinking that could be a lot of fun. Then let's see here. Get some of my pumpkins again. This one also could be Halloween. So let's see if I have my Halloween face here. There we are. Try to get my jack-o'-lantern all ready. Get my black ink. Where did I set it? Oh, there it is hiding. They will do that. They will hide from me. Okay. So then that all inked up. Go. And then just pop it on there. And our circle. So in this case, I think the white edging makes it kind of pop. and you wouldn't necessarily have to have any white under it. Excuse me. But you could also use our white circle punch and our circle punch and do it in white and add kind of a pop of color to it that you might not normally think of. So I thought I would do that real quick. Let's see here. And of course a leaf, or yeah, I don't know if a leaf makes sense with when you've already made it into a jack-o'-lantern, but certainly another one there. Let's do our Happy Halloween. And some trash paper here. I can actually still use this. That will work. I'm going to do it in black because I think it'll make it have the most contrast. I don't think I inked it up enough though. Oh, not too bad. And I'm just going to use our oval punch here. Get rid of that. And there I have my little Happy Halloween. Then maybe I want to grab some, I tried to put some paper over here that would make sense. Well, that is the copper. I don't know. Decisions. I kind of think the Cajun Craze is still my favorite to put another color under it, since it is in the paper. So you could do that. Have your guy there. But I do want to use the white real quick and find my punch. This is interesting. Okay. I know it was sitting here. Okay, there it is. All right, so what I'm going to do it 2 ways. I'm going to do it punching the whole thing and then not. And then there's that. So I'm going to go ahead and take this small one off. Set it to the side. I'm going to put my stamp cleaner. You can tell it is well used and loved. Put a little color onto it. It's got a whole lot of Memento black in it, but I'm going to put some orange in it today. Then ink up here. And let's see, I was going to stamp on this for one. And this would be one, I mean, so much fun to mask this, use masking with this. Go ahead and cut these guys out and use them on the edge, like one of the ones that you cut as trash. Use it to do the edge and then stamp your others on top of it, and that way you can get a big, huge pumpkin patch created out of it, so that would be fun. But then I also wanted to put, oh, I've touched something, sorry. I wanted to put a little tree beside it. I thought that could be kind of cutesy. It's not really like a tree, it's kind of like a stalk, but it has so many leaves with it that I thought that that could be kind of cute. So I'm gonna grab my crumb cake and make a little stem, a little tree. Go. And then there are a bunch, oh, that was just a sentiment, I didn't even really need it. There's this little leafy branch, and then there's also a bundle of leaves. Let's see, that's these guys. So either one could look really cute if you put it on there, but I wanted to do a different technique and do baby wipe ink pad. So you can see, I told you I was gonna just go on and on with so many things tonight. So what I'm doing here is just adding some lemon lolly, because I think it might kind of brighten up our color scheme. And one thing about this, it will really be economical because the little things are so small. Sometimes when you do, like I'm sure I'll do this with the leaves stamp set as well, but with this one, it's so small that I really think it will save us a lot of ink because it's so small. And I'm just putting a couple of other oranges there. I'm not making a lot of different spots because I want it to be pretty intense with color. So we will see if this works out. Okay. So I'm gonna take these leaves. I wanna clean it every time because I'll wanna get it where it's not, I don't wanna go back in because I'll get it muddy, if that makes sense. Just gonna kind of drop it. Pop them on there. They could also be blowing in the wind as well. So I'm going to do these that don't have any, there we go, any of the green on them first, and I'll kind of clean it there beside it, and then I'm going to get some green. Just kind of pop them on there. Like that. Okay, then I'm going to use this branch and do virtually the same thing. And just see how it turns out. And maybe the lemon lolly is a little white because I have it kind of in the middle. Might have been better if I had used something darker in the middle. But at this point, I think you can see it there. And you can see how it made kind of a little cute tree, kind of simple. And then it occurred to me after I did this that that probably won't work for our circle. We'll probably end up with, no, it works. Never mind. I'm just kidding. Who knew? I don't care that it cuts off just a little bit of the edges. I was kind of going for that. I was kind of thinking, well, that'll look cute if it's just kind of like it's off the edge a little bit. So that's actually what I was kind of thinking about. Then I would stamp my little stem. If I can think where it is, which one of these clear blocks. Oh my goodness, so funny. Not that one, not that one. It's not that one. Oh, there it is in the floor. Okay. And I will just get some old olive. Oh, and I just have it on my finger. Sometimes when they're really tiny like this, it's pretty easy to control, so that's why I did that. So there you can see I put my little stem on there, and it's a very tall stem, so you could also maybe prefer to draw it on. It's kind of up to you. So then for a different look here, you could put this one on there and then make it a harvest card and use that instead. So this would just be another way of using this. This one would be, you know, just putting it on here and saying Happy Halloween or, you know, whatever you need to say. But I just think this looks cute to add a little bit of fall color and make it into like a little tree beside it. I don't know, just, you know, maybe. Let's see here. There was the little bird. I meant to put him on there. So let's get our memento. And the only thing I wanted to do with him was not have him on his, no, I can color his beak. Never mind, I'm just gonna go ahead. Okay, I'm just gonna put him, I better turn it around because I can get kind of, I better ink it another time. I can't tell if it's getting, I may have to just, you could put this in the tree as well, but I wanted to put him on the ground. So we'll see if it turns out or not. He's all right. But I didn't think about being able to see the beak. You can see the orange through there. So I might want to cut out a little beak to cover it up. And that might help quite a bit on that. Or stamp him first and make a mask for him. But there, his beak anyway is a different color of orange anyway. So that's just another way of putting this together. So let me put this away so I don't stick anything in it. So I think that was just about the last thing I was going to do. Of course, we would want to add this to it as well. But don't forget that there are the other kinds of things that are in the big catalog. So there's like khaki ribbon that could be pretty with this. And then there's this natural ribbon that has the cute texture. That would look really nice with this and almost has the feel of like some tweed or some wool as it goes across this plaid. So I think that could be really nice. And this would be, honestly, I'm seeing this color in there. This might look better if you're going to use this ribbon, if you put it on a piece of cardstock that's crumb cake. Gosh, I wanted to say craft so bad. Okay, so anyway, I think that this makes a cute little design that can be used, you know, like I said, showed you like several different ways. You know, like that. You can do it, you know, make it into a little pumpkin or make it into a little jack-o'-lantern. And of course you want to add your stem and your leaf or whatever on that. And then this one over here, showing you everything punched out and like this. And then just showing you how nice this would look. And you could certainly put your pumpkins on here, but I'm not sure necessarily if it might look better if you just used your sentiments. But there are some great ones in this set, and that's why I included talking about it tonight. And then the discussion of this on the pumpkin pie looks great as well. So, may not have gotten as many as you were hoping to see, but I think it's a good representation of this little set and the many ways that you can use it. And then remember, I'm going to cut out my original guys. Let's see where they are. Cut out my original guys here and turn them into a card as well. Possibly on this one, because I think it might blend nicely if I add a little bit of garden green to it as well. They could even look nice if they were cut out on this and just kind of use that as a background. So that was our original one where we put the spots that come with it on there. Thank you for watching, and I hope you have a great weekend. Bye-bye.